is the answer to that. Yes.
Can I ask a question to Stuart?
Yes.
Stuart, you appear to me to give me the impression that you would like a free hand to do what you like, scrap all health and safety, do away with asbestos regulations, and have a free hand to do what you like in agriculture. And the thing is about your 4 tonnes an acre, have you got a chemical that will kill blackgrass? Because now in the fen areas, they're spraying areas of wheat off because the blackgrass has overtaken the wheat. And have you got a chemical for that?
Well, there is a very easy solution to it, but we're not allowed to use it. The solution's dead easy. You grow GM wheat and spray it with glyphosate. That's the end of blackgrass. So the solution is there.
How will that kill blackgrass?
I beg your pardon?
How will that kill blackgrass, GM foods? Products?
I'll go through it more slowly then, very slowly, all right? You plant a wheat variety that is resistant to glyphosate. Such a wheat variety has been in the domain for years. There is no problem with doing that. The blackgrass comes up alongside the wheat. You spray the wheat and the blackgrass with glyphosate. The blackgrass dies and the wheat doesn't. I hope that answers your question.
But why don't you do it?
I beg your pardon?
Why doesn't it happen?
Right, I will tell you why. Because the green...
areas because you can't control it.
Because we're not allowed to use those varieties of wheat. Simple as that. The EU has forbidden it.
So we want
well, if you want to control blackgrass, I've told you how you can do it. All right?
You don't want the GM food.
Well, in that case, you will have to struggle spending up to £60 an acre in trying to control this weed. And I'm sure the chap sitting next to you, is it Peter? He will know how much it costs to try and control blackgrass in the East Midlands and Oxfordshire and parts of East Anglia. It's a huge expense. And we're running out of options because the blackgrass has a very wide genetic base. And the spray you spray it with will kill the majority of the genes, the types there, but it will leave a few, and it's those few that get left that then dominate. And as you know, blackgrass will come up in a field like hairs on a cat's back, and it's become a huge problem now in autumn sowing.
Another question is, we never knew what blackgrass was until modern farming came in.
Right, blackgrass has come in.
We never knew what it was.
Right, blackgrass has come in, I would have said, for 2 reasons. The first is that on the heavy land, they used to have fairly long rotations of grass. You probably had grass for 3 or 4 years, then some cereals for 3 or 4 years, then back into grass again. And that rotation stopped the blackgrass from getting going. But we also, up until the mid-90s, used to burn stubbles. And farmers used to take trouble to get a really good black burn. And that roasting flame across the field killed a lot of the blackgrass, or it triggered it to germinate very, very quickly. So you cultivated the field and up it came. I'm talking to you in practical terms, aren't I? I'm not bullshitting. I'm talking to you in practical terms. If you want to control blackgrass, the agrichem people, the trade, they have an answer to it. Now, whether we use that is up to us, but the answer, the solution is there. One of the big problems with blackgrass is that while it dominates the landscape in South Lincolnshire, Northamptonshire, Oxfordshire, Hertfordshire, etc., elsewhere in the world it doesn't really exist. And so there is only a very small market for specialised blackgrass products. And so the chemical firms aren't going to bust a gut to try and find another one when they know there's already this GM solution there. So the decision's in your hands.
Gentleman over there, in the check shirt. There we
I
are.
was going to say, you talk about GM wheat, but in the States now, they're having to change their agricultural practices because the wheat isn't growing as fast as the weeds that were supposed to be killed off. The weeds have become resistant because with the GM stuff, and they're having to go back to manual weeding of the fields.
Right.
Could we tell everybody what that question was?
Yeah, in the States, having had 20 years success with this, they're running into problems. They are, because there were always some weeds in the United States that were resistant to glyphosate, quite a few of them. And by constantly spraying and selecting away from them, they have now started to thrive. in this country, we've been using glyphosate. Well, I've been using it since 1977, not on a growing crop, obviously, because you can't, but on the stubbles or on a senescing crop. And I have not yet got a glyphosate-resistant weed on my farm, and I've been using it, I should think, a quarter to a third, possibly half the farm some years, and I'm quite typical, have been sprayed with glyphosate. I'm told there's a weed called onion cooch that is resistant to it. But so we're fortunate in this country, we haven't got that range of weeds that are resistant. I would say that I think the American farmers have been very gung-ho in the way they've used this technology, that they have allowed themselves to grow, say, glyphosate-resistant wheat and glyphosate-resistant maize and glyphosate-resistant soybeans, and so they've had the one coming up in the weed as another. They haven't really thought this through. Nevertheless, every year they can make the choice about what they grow. If they want to buy the GM seeds, they do that, they pay more for them. If they think this technology isn't helping them, then they won't buy the seeds. There's no imposition here, it's purely choice.